Hey guys, it's me, Miss Norris, and today I'd like to share a fun read aloud with you of the story A House is a House for Me. The story A House is a House for Me was written in 1978 by Mary Ann Hoberman and was illustrated by Betty Fraser, and it tells the story, a rhyming story, of all the different things that can be homes to lots of different things. If you're ready to hear the story, I'm ready to share it with you. Here we go. A house is a house for me. I'm going to show you a close-up of that cover of all the things that we're going to find out where they live or what they are the home to. And I've been reading this book since I was a kid, and this page, the cover page, the title page has always been something that it was exciting to me because each letter is a different home. We have a teepee and a bridge and a basket of eggs, a hammock, a clown, an elephant, an ice cream cone, the cat that played the fiddle, and the cow jumping over the moon, a beehive, a dog and some squirrels, a pumpkin shell with a little window, a castle, a duck, some shoes with feet, a mule and a rider, a raccoon and a bee, a grocery cart, two friends, and a paint set. And now let's get started with the story. A hill is a house for an ant. An ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. So ants live in hills, bees live in hives, and mice and moles. You can just barely see the little mole's fingers sticking out, and its tiny eyes live in a hole. And a house is a house for me. This one's a tree house. How exciting. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There is nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. And a house is a house for me. This time their house is an imaginary one made out of an old box. Fun. A coop, that's a house for a chicken. A sty, that's a house for a sow. A fold, that's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn, that's a house for a cow. It is also, of course, a house for a horse. We can see this giant sheep standing over the entire farm. And we can see the chickens in their coop, the pigs in their sty, the sheep sleeping in their fold, and the barn that's a house for a cow, and of course, a horse. Oh, look at the puppy. A kennel's a house for a dog, a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a dog strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move in on me. So we have a dog, and it can live in its home is a kennel, but a flea lives on a dog, so sometimes a dog is a home, and sometimes those fleas can stay and they can get on you. And the boy is playing a song called My Dog Has Fleas. Fleas bite animals and they make them very itchy. They can get on humans and make you very itchy too. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bedbug beds down in a bed. So we can see the rabbits in hutches, the mule in a shed, a duchess's castle, and those little black spots are bed bugs in a bed. Mosquitoes like mud holes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may make do with a lake, but a house is a house for me. So we have the mosquitoes in a mud puddle, a whale in the ocean or sea. The fish and the snake might be living in a lake, and this time the house for me is an umbrella fort at the beach. You can see all the shells and crabs and her shovel and some seaweed. Have you ever made a fort on the beach? I haven't, but it sounds like fun. A shell is a dwelling for a shellfish, for oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell and each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open. Monkeys live up in a tree. Hippos live down in a river. Now, what do you know about me? So let's take a closer look at all these animals. There's a lion. Looks like he's combing his hair, and some monkeys up in trees. The hippos in the river, and all of these animals that have their home as a shell. Turtles and clams and oysters. An igloo's a house for an Eskimo. A teepee's a house for a Cree. A pueblo's a house for a Hopi. And a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar's a house for a plane. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship. And a terminal's a house for a train. There's different types of homes. We have a polar bear near an igloo, a buffalo near a teepee, a mountain lion near a pueblo, and a deer near a wigwam. We have cars living in garages, airplanes living in hangars, ships living in slips, and trains live in a terminal. A husk is a house for a corn ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell's a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? So we can see this, the corn lives in its husk. A pea lives in its pod. A hickory nut lives in a shell. And in this picture, the house that is a house for me is another type of fort, a table fort. And looks like the person in the story is reading in their table fort. A glove is a house for a hand, a hand. A stocking's a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. And a house is a house for me. So different types of clothing are for different parts of your body, and those things are houses for those body parts. Like a mitten is a house for a home. And in this case, it looks like the house for her is a snow fort. So this is lots of different types of forts in this story. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, then the tea house will turn into me. So tea bags live in a box. When you make the tea, it lives in a teapot. And if I drink the tea, then I am a house for the tea. You can see this is Alice and the Mad Hatter having a tea party with the March Hare and the Dormouse. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more that I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. So we can see the king in his castle. We can see the crackers in their cartons. And now I think we're about to see a lot of other places that are houses for things. Oh, yes. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it is true that the more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses for you. So we'll go through these pictures. A mitt is a home for a ball. A drum is a home for a beat. A tic-tac-toe board is a home for an X or an O. An egg is a home for a chick. A basket is home for eggs. A present is a home for a gift. And a hammock is a home for your body. But wait, there's more. A kangaroo is a home to her Joey. A cage is a home for a hamster. A jack-o'-lantern is a home for a light or a candle. A bag is a home for groceries. A pincushion is a home for a pin. A salad bowl is a home for a salad. A toothbrush is a home for toothpaste. And if you get hurt, your hand is a home for a Band-Aid. So many different types of homes. Can you think of any? Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes. A sandwich is a home for some ham. So in a store, there's homes for lots of things. A barrel for pickles, a sandwich for ham, jars for jam, and potatoes in a pot. There's also candy in jars, and flowers in pots, and probably many more homes in this little store. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body. My hat is a house for my head. Cookies live in jars. Bread lives in boxes. And if you put on a hat and coat, your body and your head are homes for your cap and jacket. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I am stretching things some. A mirror's a house for reflections. A throat is a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies, and pens can be houses for ink. So a mirror is a home for a reflection, and your throat holds a hum, and pockets hold pennies, and pens hold ink. They're homes for those different things. Maybe a little far-fetched, but it sure is fun. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and garbage makes houses for germs. So in the garbage, the garbage is a home for trash, but then there's lots of different homes for lots of different things in the trash. And as some of those things get old, like peaches and trash. They become the homes of other things like worms and germs. And envelopes, earmuffs and eggshells and bathrobes and baskets and bins and rag bags and rubbers and roasters and tablecloths, toasters and tins. So a shell is a home of an egg. An envelope is a home to a letter. A pan is a home for a chicken or a turkey. A toaster is a home for some toast. A lamp is a home for light. Cans are homes for the things that are in them. Earmuffs are homes for your ears. And so many more. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that whatever you see is either a house or lives in a house. And a house is a house for me. So the author is saying that everything you can think of is a house or becomes a house or lives in a house, but a house is always a house for me. And this time it's a private tent with lots of treasures inside. The tent is a home for treasures. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret I will never, ever tell. So if someone tells you a secret, then your head is a house for that secret. A flower's at home in a garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that's known has a house of its own. I'll pause for a minute so you can look at all these different animals. And the earth is a house for us all. The end. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you really enjoyed this story. A house is a house for me. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button at the bottom of the page. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much for your support. It really means a lot to me. If you're not a subscriber yet, please click that subscribe button down at the bottom of the page. And don't forget to click the bell so that you're notified when there's new content. I hope to see you all again real soon. And I hope you all think about the different things that can be houses and what all you're a house for. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.